I remember reading the book of Exodus, and the first thing that came to my mind is, well, gosh, they fought really hard to get away from such deep oppression. And then I remember towards the end of the book, I remember feeling the sense of fatigue because my emotions too were wrapped up in their story of the constant push and pull of we gotta go, we gotta get out of here, to oh my God, we left our comfortability, we're not sure if we made the right decision, to okay, we want to go back because we don't know what's about to happen to us, to okay, we have to be steadfast in what God is showing us, full speed ahead. And I say all that to say, when you leave Egypt, going back is the utmost disrespectful thing you can do. The story of the Israelites leaving Egypt in the book of Exodus is significant for the reader because in the book it shows what the mind does as it processes separating oneself from comfortability. Then the next step onto processing the separation to get yourself in a place where you are confident enough to step into the unknown and what's next. Most people never leave their comfort zone, and your comfort zone can kill you. And this is why it's so important for those that leave Egypt, Egypt being the person, place, or thing that the Most High has forbade you, has literally said, this is not good for you, this is hindering your growth, this is stopping you from receiving your promise, your generational wealth, this is preventing you from making it to the chosen land. Be it person, place, or thing, you have to abort that mission. That is the Egypt. Going back to Egypt is so disrespectful, not only to the Most High, because the Most High has been patient, has nurtured you, has strengthened you, has gotten you to a place where you're strong enough to separate. But when you return back, you're saying, I don't trust you. Oh, I think my way's better. I don't know where I'm going, so I really don't trust what's happening here. So I'm just going to return to comfortability. Meanwhile, that comfortability is what got you messed up in the first place. That comfortability is what got you in the position to need to leave in the first place. Going back to Egypt is forbidden for the chosen ones. And I'm so passionate about teaching that because I remember a time, well, date back. I moved to Atlanta in 2011. I overstayed. God made it clear to me that He didn't want me there in the first place. I'm just going to say that because that has been on my soul for so long, and it almost brings me to tears admitting that because I not only did I overstay in Egypt, I went to Egypt, and the Most High did not want me there. My time that I spent in Atlanta, from a worldly standpoint, I can genuinely say that I enjoyed it. From a chosen standpoint, I can say I had no business in any of those places that I showed up in. And that is why my life in Atlanta was so hard. And I mean, it was always hard. I don't care what pictures look like. I don't care how fun it looks. I don't care how joyful I looked like it. Like, let me tell you something. Atlanta was my Egypt. And I had no business being there. I overstayed my welcome. Not only did I overstay my welcome in a place God didn't want me in, I went back. So this is coming from a place, a very deep, heartfelt place for me. Um, that is honestly kind of uncomfortable. Even as I talk about it, I'm just like, oh my God. Just, I have to take a second because I'm being brutally honest, not only with you, my viewer, The Chosen, my team, I'm being brutally honest with myself right now. And Atlanta was a show from top to bottom. From the minute I moved there, I got robbed. I mean, I wasn't in Atlanta 6 months. Fell out with family, got robbed. And I knew in my soul that God was telling me, you don't belong here. I am not against anyone that chooses to move there. It's a beautiful place. It's not for me. From my moral standpoint, it's not for me. The things that I engaged in and got myself involved in and tampered in and muddied my feet in were immoral. And I don't wish that on anyone. I don't suggest that for anyone. And a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to Atlanta because I'm an artist and I want to explore. Good luck. Now, why Atlanta was my Egypt? Everything about the things that I experienced there were immoral from a godly standpoint. I'm not the person that's going to sugarcoat things. I'm going to be honest because I am here to witness to other people and to help people find their way. So maybe you won't take a 14-year long stint. The Israelites were lost for 40 years. I was lost for 14. When God says leave Egypt, you leave Egypt and you don't look back. It doesn't matter if you don't even know where you're going, one foot in front of the other. And that's all that you need to focus on is your faith. Lord, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, but guess what? You got it. And as long as you got it, I'm good. And it took me so long to admit that because Atlanta is a hot spot. I'm an artist. I want to move to Atlanta, do my music, be on the scene, be seen, be poppin', be, club hopping. That is not what God had in store for me. And I suffered severely for being disobedient. So, out of the many times that I went through such deep suffering, I still couldn't bring myself to wrap my mind around going anywhere else but Egypt. So, I would stay. And in the moments where I would be forced out, I mean, pushed out in a rebirth, I would go right back because it was my home in my mind. I didn't know home in my body. I didn't know home in the house of the Lord, which is in your body, in the presence of the Lord. Greater is he that is present with the Lord than he that is in the world. And that is so true when I look back on my story where I'm just like, gosh, I just went through 14 years of lessons because I wouldn't listen. And leaving somewhere where you're unwelcome, leaving somewhere where you don't fit the status quo, leaving somewhere that you can't make genuine friends, leaving somewhere that is sexually immoral, very sexually immoral, leaving somewhere that is full of schemes and just really the underbelly of life was hard for me. I was stuck to that like Velcro. And I remember reading in the book of Exodus where the Israelites left. They followed Moses, they left. But then when they left and then they realized, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. And God's like, you don't need any of that. I got you. I'm going to rain down manna when it's time to eat, but this is on my time, not yours. I'm going to make sure you have water when you need to drink, but this is on my time, not yours. That requires an extreme amount of patience, durability, understanding, faith, obedience. And the hardest thing for a human to do is listen. And in order to be obedient, you have to listen. Don't spend 14 years in Egypt. Don't spend 40 years in the wilderness because you're afraid of obedience. It all falls down, whether you let it go or whether it's ripped from you. Whatever the Most High is telling you to do, don't go back to Egypt, that never expires. The Israelites wanted to go back to Egypt so bad that they started to build statues. Like, what was, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just baffling because I can see in myself doing the same things, idolization. They built statues because they just felt like the power of God was not strong enough. They couldn't see the vision. They couldn't see where they were going. They couldn't see the plan. The last time I checked, I didn't create me. So I'm not owed the vision. I'm not owed an explanation. It is my duty to be obedient in my faith. That's what I owe. Being owed something is a completely different thing. You use your free will to have free will, but don't spend 14 years in Egypt or 40 years in the wilderness. Because if the Most High is speaking to you and telling you, leave now, go, be steadfast, follow through, face forward, don't look back like Lot's wife, I'm burning it all down. If you're safe, if you're being offered safety, it is my deepest advice to take cover. Because when God comes through, there will be nothing left. And you can keep rebuilding. I think I rebuilt in Atlanta like 5 times. 5 times. And every time I rebuilt, that crash out was worse than before. And I had to learn that I literally think that even talking about it now and releasing that out of my system and finally coming to terms with that is actually healing me. Because the truth of the matter is, I had no business being there. I learned lessons, but some things are taught and some things are learned. It's two different things. You can learn something from reading a book and saying, hey, I'm cool off that. I don't need to throw myself in the gauntlet because I see where that's going. And then when you're taught a lesson, learning and teaching, two different things. When you're taught a lesson, that's something you don't ever forget. And that's one thing I don't forget, the lessons that I was taught of. When it's time to go, when the Most High is saying go, when the Most High is saying, this is not our territory, this is not holy ground, you are in grounds with the enemy. So you are coming into agreement with the enemy. I can't save you here because you're being disobedient and you're not in our territory. Because I've given you the means to go elsewhere. I've given you the things that you need to do elsewhere. I've given you the gift to go elsewhere, and you still go back to Egypt. I can't save you. And I had to learn that the hard way. And that is exactly why I'm reminding people, leave Egypt. Be sovereign. We don't serve two masters. Not over here. We don't serve two masters. You can't serve God and serve something else. You serve God or you serve something else. So the Holy Spirit spoke to me and I really wanted to get that out. And for whoever may need that, I hope that that is helping you on your journey. You're not stuck. You have a very bright future ahead of you. You just have to be willing to leave Egypt. Be it person, place, or thing. Leave Egypt and don't look back. Ashe.